Lamar got snubbed and Mahomes got spanked. But don't let that distract you from the Falcons' defensive roster needs or Kirk's future in the city. How about to a Bird Bab deep dive, bitch? Put the Falcon hat on so I can do. There we go. You know what time it is. Okay, so we was talking about Myles Garrett. You think they should go ahead and get him because even though he
Yeah,
got to 30, when you turn 30 years old, you get better if you that good. So when I went to look up who's the dopest pass rusher that was like still hitting it at 30, and Reggie White went to the Packers when he was 30. So
right.
so you think that we got us a Reggie White potentially on our hands? Yeah.
Yep,
Okay. Okay.
yep. What was the last? Who was the last lineman for the Falcons that was really productive? I can't think of nobody right now, but I got to go back real
Who
far.
you talking about?
John Abraham.
Yeah, John
John
Abraham.
Abraham.
Yeah, that's the best pass
Yeah,
rusher that ever came through here because that dude should be in the Hall of Fame, and he's in the
yeah,
top. Yeah, he's like in the top 10 or some all time sacks, top 12 all time. So he got more
yeah,
than Von Miller and some of these other guys that they want to
yeah,
put in there. So
yeah. 'Cause he did all that. He did out. He did the majority of it with the Jets, but when he came to the Falcons, he was still in his prime.
no, he ain't do majority of it with the Jets. He only played like four seasons with the Jets.
Oh, okay, on the phone. Okay,
3 or 4
okay,
seasons, yeah. I think it was 3 or 4 seasons. I think it was 4 seasons.
okay,
It might have even been 5. He played majority of his career with the Falcons. He was like 7, 8 seasons with Atlanta.
okay,
And,
okay, okay.
look, he one of those guys that was balling past 30 years old too. So okay,
Yeah, yeah, hell
he
yeah,
was.
yeah,
I think we
yeah,
got him when he was like 27 or something. He had just turned
yeah,
27.
yeah.
So okay, so now so I think that we would have a hard time trying to get him though, because we talked about that contract. And so we'd have to get rid of what Kirk has, and then we'd have to probably get rid of Grady Jarrett and David Onyemata to make some cap room. And then we still have to worry about having to sign Drew Dalman. You can't let Drew Dalman walk. Like you can't not afford to sign him. I mean, I think if I got to make a choice, if I'm gonna re-sign Drew Dalman or try to go after Myles Garrett, controversial, but I'm signing Drew Dalman. That's a $13 million. You gotta run the ball. You gotta protect the
Yeah,
quarterback. And we
yeah.
seen we seen Myles Garrett up there with Baker Mayfield, and they had Nick Chubb, they had Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry. Come on, man, they had some. What Denzel Ward was up there. That was a
There's
really really good team, and they didn't make any splash.
pretty good. What? They were top three defense for a couple of years.
Top three defensive, but where they get them? They ain't give them no championship. I'm not saying the defenses don't
Nah.
matter, but I mean, you can
Yeah, yeah.
supplement that
But
pass rush.
that's why Miles want to go because they're not headed no time soon in the direction of a Super Bowl.
Right. Agreed.
And I also think this is just rumors, but I'm thinking the Commanders are trying to make a push for Myles Garrett.
Oh,
Yes. I think they try to make a push for him.
I would do that.
That's
If
the
I
only
was them.
thing that I've been seeing around in the news. Probably get away that first round pick.
Okay, what would you give up for Myles Garrett?
It all depends on where I'm at. It really all depends on where I'm at as far as defensively. If I'm in the middle of the pack, I'm good on the offensive side of the ball because it is still about offense right now. I give a first round pick.
Would you give up 2 first-round picks?
Yeah.
Would you give up 3
Yeah.
first-round picks?
Nope.
I wouldn't give up more than 2 first-round picks. I don't know if I want to give up 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. Look, when we got John Abraham, we gave up 1 first-round pick for him, I think, in the same draft.
Well, it all depends on scheme. It all depends on who you already have. You give those the first round picks up if he's the missing piece of the to the puzzle. Do you think Myles Garrett is the missing piece of the puzzle for the Falcons?
I think he is. I think Myles Garrett is a missing piece for the Falcons.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the missing piece because you still got to get stronger up the middle, and we talked about that too. So it's like, what are we gonna give up if we do that?
Well,
And so, like,
well,
and the kid,
I know the Falcons were looking for a cornerback too.
a cornerback.
Yeah, the Falcons were looking for a cornerback too,
We
from what I'm hearing.
we definitely could use a cornerback. I think that Mike Hughes has been great. That's a guy that Terry brought in that has been good for us, and I would re-sign him if we can.
Yeah,
Um,
because right now, I guess for the past couple of years, teams playing with the nickel 60% of the time, so
yeah,
it is a 3 cornerback league now. When was the last time you had teams with 2 Pro Bowl corners?
yeah, you're right. I mean, even Philly don't got 2 Pro Bowl corners, and they got some really
Yeah, yeah.
got
But
some really good players. So
you want to have your back end of your defense kind of base like the Eagles.
mhm.
Uh, DBs who can cover and be nose at the same time.
Okay.
That gives you a little bit more leeway to do other things. True enough, Philadelphia does get pressure with their front four, so you can do a lot of other things that other teams can't. So so I really just can't say just go all out and get good secondary, and then you had a piss poor front four.
Right. I mean, I don't. You don't have to. You don't have to be great. You do have to have guys on every level on defense. So you need an edge guy, or you need a guy in the front up on the front line who's just a difference maker. You need one stud there.
Right.
And so then your other guys just have to be really good rotational guys. And then at the linebacker position, you need a guy who could be a difference maker or a playmaker. You almost kind of have that with Kate Nellis. I'm not sure that he's not a special guy. But in your secondary,
I like for
he's
some
good.
reason
He's
I
great.
like Caden,
He
man.
is
For
really
some
good.
reason
He's
I
not a
like Caden,
sideline.
man.
He is a difference maker though, but he is not a. You need some more guys to go with him though. He's not.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
see what I'm
yeah,
saying. He is not an elite guy. You see what I'm saying. What you want is a guy that's better than him, so that he is even more effective. Or you need guys that specialize and can do more things, like guys that can cover and do some other things so that he can kind of freelance a little bit too. Because like I heard Troy Polamalu one time talking about how he would just in the game, they might be in cover too, and he'll invert the coverage. And the coach eventually let them do that.
yeah,
But you got to have guys who can do that type of stuff in order to make that happen. Because if you don't, you know what I mean. So, now of course
yeah,
that's a special lifetime player.
yeah,
There's definitely levels to this, but I think that you definitely want to have somebody. If you don't have a guy like a Myles Garrett, then you need a bunch of other guys that are really good, and then you need a guy in the middle who can really wreak havoc and can get there, stop the run, and make it really hard where they got to double team your guys. Now, I'm drawing a blank on our guy that we drafted last year who got hurt, third or fourth round. But that edge guy, if he's good for us for the Falcons, you know what I mean? You mix him up with
yeah,
Ebiketie, and I believe that he is going to be there. Now, I think you got to still bring some more guys in to push people, and competition is going to be our friend. That's what you got to do if you're the Falcons. You got to stockpile as much defensive talent as you want. Because on
yeah,
offense, you can scheme around not having as much talent. You can scheme guys open. You are dictating the pace to an extent. On defense, you got to have guys that can react. You got to have speed on defense. You got to have strength and guys who can dominate or just playmakers on defense. And so we essentially have that at the cornerback position and at the safety position with Jesse Bates. So really, you just need a lot of other guys in some of these other places who can really make some splashes for you. And
yeah. Um, but as a franchise, I would look at my offense and say, okay, I got Drake London, I got Bijan, I got Michael Penix, I got a couple of more guys. I think we're gonna score the ball a lot this season. That's what I'm telling the franchise. I think we'll score uh, a lot of touchdowns. I think we'll be up most of the time. I think we can put up 24 to 30 points, plus a
20, 40,
game.
30.
So if we're in the league, will our line have the ability to get after the quarterback when the opposing team is down? You see what I'm saying? So that's going to have to go hand in hand with what the defense and the offense going to have to talk about. Okay, look, We got a blazing offense. We go score some points. But can we hold people?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When we up 14, 17 points and teams have to pass, can we get after the quarterback? And that was the problem this year. Y'all will have the lead, get the lead, and let teams come back because y'all just didn't have the artillery. Just keep going after the quarterback. Y'all had to have blitz packages to get after the quarterback instead of your front four.
Right.
You know, so y'all will have to look in that too. We need some go-getters. I can't call them defensive ends no more. They call them edge rushers. We need some edge rushers.
Yeah.
Can we get these edge rushers? Because I think the Atlanta Falcons offense would be good enough to get to have lead the majority of the times of the game.
Yeah.
But can y'all hold the lead?
Mm.
Can y'all hold it?
That's a good question. Again, yeah, you definitely got to have those edge guys. That's why I like Walker. I don't think that he's going to be. I don't think he's just a quote unquote straight up only edge guy. Although you can put him there, I would want to move him around a lot and make him more of that wild card guy in your front seven that can allow maybe Caden Ellis to do some of that stuff. That's how I use him if I was the Falcons. Because even when you first got Khalil Mack, when Khalil Mack first came into the league for Buffalo, he was an off-ball linebacker before they made him an edge specialist.
Yeah.
And, you know, same with Micah Parsons. I don't want to say that this kid is Micah Parsons, but similar thing. And that's what I would do. If I was Dallas, that's what I would do with Micah Parsons. I wouldn't just line him up at edge all the time. Because you can't, I would keep making them wonder where this guy is. Where's number 11 all the time? You see what I'm saying? Like, where is he? So, I think
But that lets you know how good the defensive coordinator was last year, which is coaching in Washington now. He was moving Michael around.
True.
They had success with it. You know, they was moving Michael around. But you got to understand, you have the hardest defenders to stop are defenders who plays with leverage.
Yes.
Everybody you just called out plays with leverage. Myles Garrett plays with leverage.
Yeah.
Okay. Khalil Mack in his younger days played with leverage.
Right.
Michael Parsons, even though he's small, he's fast, but he uses leverage.
Hey, and that's why I like
to the quarterback.
That's why I like Walker. That's one thing I love about Walker. Beside his versatility, he actually has bend. He's got some really good bend on his pass rush.
Yeah. Yeah. He does. So I mean,
this combine's gonna tell us a lot, though. Because if you know, like for example, if Kenneth Grant, if he's because Kev was telling me he's seen him as high as 5, but he's seen him as low as like 31 or 32 or something like that. So that's quite that is a huge range. I didn't think about it, but that's a huge range for defensive linemen. You don't usually get interior line because it's easier to evaluate like off-ball linebackers, interior linemen, and safeties than any other position on the field.
Teams are looking at. That's why a lot of teams been struggling with the run lately. It's because of the fact you usually want to get run stoppers in the middle, but with the RPOs and these quarterbacks now, franchises are looking for defensive linemen who can miss a tackle or get tricked in the RPO and run the running back down, or run the quarterback down, or at least changes his courses, what he's doing, you know. So now franchises are looking at defensive linemen who can hold a spot down or can leave a spot and go make a tackle.
Right.
You know, so that's what franchises are looking for. Now, the days of 700 pounds in the middle is gone.
Right.
That's gone.
Right.
That you know, the Haloti Nadas, the Ted Washingtons, and the Saragusas, all that is gone. You'll never see 700 pounds in the middle no more. Because you have to get after the quarterback. the RPOs, the screens, the tunnel screens, everything, you know, the redirections, all this.
Hey, but
You have to be agile in the middle, but you also still have to hold it down also.
I was gonna
So
say,
it's kind of like a gift and a curse.
because you got Dexter Lawrence, you got Vita Vea. You'll say you got some
Yeah,
of them. You got them nose tackles now.
yeah, but Vita the last one.
Shit. Now, I mean,
Vita is the last big.
Dexter Lawrence is that guy right now. He in like his
I don't
fifth or sixth
I don't
year.
hear his name called a lot. Like I
He
don't hear
got
his
more
name called.
sacks than everybody. He was leading the league in sacks for most of the year.
Oh, he was?
He was at first, yeah. I think he got like 8. I think he got like 9 in the year or 9 sacks. But he leads all defensive tackles, and he's a true
Okay.
nose tackle.
Okay.
That boy a problem. I mean, and I get what you're saying. I mean, you are right. I mean, we talked about a couple weeks ago about the boys with the Rams. They're two
Yeah.
defensive ends that are 3-4 defensive ends and 4-3 interior tackles. You know, they both at around 7.5 sacks or 8 sacks a piece as well
Right.
too. So yeah, you do need those guys that can be versatile. It seems like,
Yeah.
and even them, they'll rush one big boy, and then they'll rush one of those other guys as well too. So they'll have a 330-pounder because they run a true 3-4 as well. So
Mm-hmm.
they got a nose tackle with meat up front, and those two guys. So you get
Well,
your 900 pounds up front. You dig what I'm saying? Even more.
yeah,
You get
but
1,000 pounds up front.
hey, you run that 3-4. When you run that 3-4, you gotta have some studs on that line because they gotta be two gapping monsters, man. They gotta be two gapping monsters in that 3-4.
You right typically, but that's that old school 3-4. You can have that attack 3-4 where you moving guys around and
Oh
cutting
yeah.
and doing all of that as well too. So that, but you're right. I want to have guys that can do both. I want to have big boys that can,
Yeah.
because when you got a guy with having guys that are 6'2", 6'3" is good. When you got your guy that's 6'6", 6'7", or 6'4", 6'5", that's a different type of leverage, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a different type of leverage. That's a different type of leverage, man. Yeah.
at least if they have them long arms, and that's a whole other thing too. You got long arms. You
Mm-hmm.
got guys who be that height and they don't have it's in the legs and ain't in the arms as well too. But that's why they like those linemen to be like that, because you can't get into their body and they can get to you and they don't have to put their body on you. And
You gotta put that body on it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Stack and shade. Hey, I stacking and shed, man.
you
You know
gotta
what I'm saying?
you're coming
Get
off
him out
low,
of
you're
there.
ripping through.
Huh?
You're coming off low and you're ripping through.
You're ripping. Yeah. Get him up out of there, man.
Coach used to say,
Get him
you're
up
coming
out
off
of
low and you're ripping through.
there. It's gonna be interesting what teams are gonna do during the draft because these quarterbacks, I'm sticking true to it. These quarterbacks are becoming a problem. Every year during the Super Bowl or during the playoffs, franchises they take heed and look at these winning teams and try to see what they're doing so they can be successful. So the NFL is nothing but a copycat league. It's a copycat league. So it'll be interesting this year to see what some of these moves these franchises to be doing to get better.
I agree. Draft is gonna be real. We ain't gonna know too much more until the combines, though. I mean, right now
Yeah.
it's just a lot of buzz. It's the time of year where fans gonna get all extra emotional about much to do about nothing, and they gotta keep flow going. The NFL likes to have something going every month. So we got the
Every
combine
month.
coming up soon, and then it'll be the draft after that. All the pro day stuff. So it'll be interesting.
No off season. It's no off season for it's no off season for any sport anymore.
It's
No
not
off season.
supposed to, but no sport has maximized it like the NFL.
No, they don't.
We also were talking about Kirk. You think you knew Kirk was hurt? We both thought Kirk was Kirk. Wasn't he on the injury report earlier this year? I thought that they had put him on the report saying that he was banged up going in between that limited or something, right?
I can't recall if he was on the injury report, but they never really spoke about it because everybody was just saying that what was wrong with Kirk, but they never really delved into injury.
Facts.
They never delved into it. That's why I was just asking you. I was like, if he was injured, why it wasn't news?
Right.
He was just being benched because of his gameplay. You know, that's all we heard.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I might be wrong, but I thought that they had him limited, at least in that 1 week. They kept saying he looked like he ain't. A lot of people were saying Kirk don't look right. I didn't think he looked right. It looked like his arm like just went away, and I thought he just lost
Yeah.
it. I didn't think he was injured, and he said he wasn't injured as such. So it's kind of weird that he says that. Now I don't think we're gonna have a fine. Do you think that we'll have a fine?
Yeah, I think we will. I think we will. I kind of compare. I kind of think of as you don't be that good and you don't be tearing the NFL up for the first 5, 6 games of the season and just fall off. It had to be an injury. It wasn't because his arm was dead or he just lost the full grip of the game. It has to be something that was dealing with his throwing arm. It had to be because it just didn't make no sense. You don't fall off like that in the same season unless you're injured.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I never seen nothing like that before. You right. It'd be kind of more
Right.
gradual. Like at least the weakness, the arm weakness and stuff like that. I mean, his play was already Kirk was already making questionable throws anyway. But that's kind of Kirk's thing. Kirk
But
kind of
you just don't carve up teams for 400 plus yards in one spot. And then all of a sudden, week 7, week 8, week 9, or week 10, you just fall off. You just fall off a cliff.
Hey, so you think Kirk being
Don't
petty?
make sense.
You think he doing this on purpose to be petty then? Because why the hell, or he just got a blabbermouth? Because why the hell would he disclose this right now then? Because it's too much borderline. He already cost us a draft pick.
Because he may want to go somewhere else. So he just telling everybody else it wasn't a decline because of his age, it was because of an injury. So he probably putting out there so other teams can see
Right,
what they
right.
want to do.
Hey, because fans mad at him right now. It's like,
Hey, yeah, man. Right. You know it. You know he is.
oh man,
You know it.
Kirk's press conference. Kirk divulging information is like herpes, bruh. It's just a bad gift that just keeps on giving, bruh. Like you like what's coming next, man? Like,
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Do you think Kirk is there next season in Atlanta?
if we can't get a trade partner, yeah.
Who needs a quarterback? Who
Uh,
really needs a quarterback?
I mean, Cleveland really does need a quarterback. I just can't see Kirk going to Cleveland with that. With him, with it being such a cold place and all of that.
Would he be a backup for a rookie quarterback, or would he be a stepping stone for a rookie quarterback again?
I could see him doing that. I just could see him being okay with that. I think Kirk still wants to play, and I do think there's a team that's gonna need a quarterback. I don't think it's gonna happen before the draft, though. I think it would have to happen after.
No. Seeing what they can get, trying to fill their rosters out, and then probably go after some free agent.
So I think if the Raiders don't get a quarterback, I can see them.
Raiders are going to get a quarterback.
Right.
Raiders getting a quarterback.
What are the Raiders? What are they picking? New England, Jacksonville. Raiders are number 6. Yikes.
Quarterbacks will still be available at 6. It just who has the first 5 picks?
Jacksonville, New England, Giants, Cleveland, Tennessee is number 1. And Jacksonville is number 5. Jacksonville don't need a quarterback. The Giants need a quarterback. Tennessee kind of basically needs a quarterback.
That's gonna be key Cole, no one is talking about Tennessee right now.
Right.
No one.
Right.
And that's an interesting pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tennessee will have the ability to mess up the whole draft. I think. Depending on who they pick. Do they go quarterback? Do they still believe in Will Levis? We don't know.
Right. I don't think they believe in Will Levis. I don't think Will Levis is that guy. I think
He
he
got
will.
one of the strongest arms in the league. One blooper a week. I don't know, you know. So quarterbacks are coming out. You have Shador. Everybody is raving about this kid, Jackson Dart
Okay.
from Ole Miss.
Okay.
Jackson Dart from Ole Miss.
Hey, if you love what we're doing over here at Point Game Official, hit that like and subscribe button. Small thing to you, but big thing for us. Simo, Point Game Official. Check it out, baby. Peace.